I'm Sabrina. I'm your host today. And yes, we're going to be reading another Emily Henry book. And I'm super excited. I already started reading this. I am about 70 pages in. I am pretty impressed with that because I read like 50 pages at work. So that's an indicator on how slow it was. Honestly, I will say I did try to start it when I first got it, when it came out, but I just couldn't get into the first chapter, which was a little weird. But usually first chapters I feel like are things to hook me in, but it didn't really hook me in. But also, I didn't really finish the chapter. And it was only when I finished the actual full first chapter, I was in it. I was ready to go, and I just whizzed through 50 pages. And the thing that I love most about Emily Henry books are that they're singular perspective, because I feel like we've lost the art form of singular perspective in romance books. That's an exaggeration, but I feel like there's just so many romance books that don't need a dual perspective. They really, all they need is just a singular perspective. I've made this argument before. I'm not going to rehash it. I'm really liking our main character, Alice. She's kind of your typical bubbly, optimistic type of main character, which I never really hate. And then our main guy, Hayden, is more of a show no emotions, very serious type of person. I'm loving this dynamic. I always love this kind of dynamic, whatever the black cat and the golden retriever type is. But honestly, I think this is a really good summer read because we're in this small town and the aesthetic of it is very, it's not tropical, but I would say like it's very vacation-y, you know, local shops, you're talking to the locals, local. But I think also this like mysterious aura of the subject that both of the two characters are researching, I think is such a good element added into this. That's the thing about Emily Henry books that I love, and I feel like I've expounded on it like many a times since I've talked about her books quite a lot on my channel. Emily Henry books are never just romance, you know? If it's anything, it's women fiction. It's about women's lives, it's about their emotions, about their feelings. Like, it's a full background character type of study thing. But I'm really liking it so far. The banter right away is quite magnificent, very delicious. I am so excited to read more because we're really just like 70 pages in. We're really just like cracking the shell open on the relationship between these two and how it's going to develop over time, especially since they're vying to be the person that the celebrity chooses to write their story. Just like such basic premises, but like I've read so many Emily Henry books. She knows how to write a story, and I'm so excited. I'm definitely liking this a lot more, like starting wise, than Funny Story, and I'm pretty excited. I read Funny Story at the beginning of the year, and it was okay. If you've watched that video, you know my thoughts about it. It was fine. I thought both of the characters are really great, but like if we're talking about like the romance aspect of it, not my favorite. I felt like it was a bit underdeveloped, but this one, the dynamic between the two characters, I'm already obsessed with, and I'm super excited. And I'm so happy that I'm finally getting back into reading. I haven't really read seriously since probably April, and so just like the feeling of wanting to read again is amazing because I did not want to read all June. That's a real shame. That's a real fucking shame because I had a bit of time. I had time, but this month I'm gonna make time. I'm also writing, and I'm trying to finish a piece by the end of the month. It's just a short piece. This is purely just a passion project, not a deadline submission type of thing. So, you know, I want to hold myself to this passion project deadline so that I can feel a little better about myself because I just haven't been writing for almost 2 years. That's an exaggeration. It's actually only been maybe a year and a half, but I miss it. I miss writing and being obsessed with a writing project. The overanalyzing that I do, especially the aha moments, those are the best. And I had one because I started writing last month, like very seriously, very avidly, almost every day. I had an aha moment last month and it was fucking amazing. It felt like I had found another piece of the puzzle, and I'm very excited. It has seen very minimal progress since my aha moment, but it's there. You know, the aha is still there, the excitement is still there, and honestly, journaling too. I've been journaling a lot since June. Honestly, the first day of June if we're being super specific. I started journaling, writing, and it's helped a lot with just my creative writing, and I felt like I never put the two together, and I feel like this should have come earlier, but it's fine. It's coming to me now. I'm just super excited that a lot of these things are like finally coming back to me. Not all things, unfortunately, but a lot of the things that make me feel, I don't know what word I would describe it, because I feel like I've always been this person who has really liked writing, who has really liked reading. I feel like in the last year, like only in the last year, I've like really lost myself in it. And it's probably because I've just been so busy with my other ventures that I haven't had time to just really sit down and take this time to do like my individual art form work type of things, spending this time to do that, because I feel like summer is definitely about like self-exploration. You know, the days are so slow with the heat. I feel like a lot of time frees up. Not for me though. I am working a lot. I think finding time to just like ground myself in the things that I like to do, the things that I love to do, is very, very helpful for me. So that was a long tangent to say I've just been reading and writing a lot, and I'm very glad that I am doing that again. Going home. Nope. So you'll start facing the back, heads down. Going home again. I always mean to record these earlier in the day, but alas, we're here. I feel like I haven't given a lot of updates since starting Great Big Beautiful Life, but I'm on 351. It's been a pretty busy couple of weeks. Not really. I actually had like 2 weeks off basically from one of my other jobs. So I was like back on my regular schedule, and it felt like a lot of time. Oh my gosh, like I hadn't realized like just with those 2 weeks how busy I was and how much I was not at home. So it was good to have those 2 weeks off, but we're going back next week. So I'm gonna be busy, and I have been reading a lot. I feel like it hasn't been very consistent where I'm reading every night. It's more like I sit down and have like a really long session, and then I just kind of go days without reading, and then I'll sit down again. So I had a really big reading session around last week, and then I went to the lake. I got a really bad sunburn. So if you needed another warning, another reminder, wear your fucking sunscreen, guys. The UV rays are out here, the sun is out, and you probably know this, but sometimes we forget. We meaning me. Or we're just not very cognizant of it, and that's not a good thing to be. You trust what people say when they say wear sunscreen. Wear sunscreen, guys. You need to keep your skin healthy. Okay, guys? Like, wear sunscreen, protect it. That's all I'm saying. Like, when you want to go outside for a really, really long time, and you know the sun's going to be there, and you know you're not going to be wearing clothes to cover your skin, please wear sunscreen. I say this as a girl who got a really bad sunburn, and I'm like, I'll be okay. I'll be fine. I haven't been able to sit down without feeling pain for the last 3 days. So please wear sunscreen. Sunburns are not fun. PSA aside, Great Big Beautiful Life. It's been amazing. I love it so much. I'm honestly super, super happy about it because I read Funny Story at the beginning of the year, as I've mentioned, and I didn't really like it. And I was afraid going into this one because I started out not really engaged in it that I wasn't gonna like this one, but I am loving it. It is like so good. It's so intriguing, and I think what makes this book so interesting and is making me feel so like sucked into it is Margaret's story. It could be any other romance with just Hayden and Alice, but with the addition of Margaret's story, this old starlet who has disappeared from the limelight and has really lived this quiet life, and no one knows where she is, and then this like tell-all type of thing. It is just like the cherry on top to this. It's amazing, and I'm loving how it's really intertwining with Alice and Hayden's storyline. It's not a lot. There's like a couple of parts that's like alluding to it that both the characters allude to, but just like the way that like this whole thing kind of melds together so well, it's amazing. And I do really like the chapter breakups with just the story and then the dialogue that happens between Alice and Margaret, because this is all told in a singular perspective, which is Alice's. I think the structure of this is very good, and talking about Hayden and Alice and their whole relationship type of thing, I do love it. It is striking a chord because I have seen this movie before and I didn't like the ending. Personal matters aside, it's very good. It's very good, but I am sensing that third act drama to come up, and we haven't hit that part so far. Again, we're like around 300 pages. We're close to the end, but we're not close enough to hit that third act, yet. And I'm actually really excited for it. I usually am not a fan of like how third acts play out with romance books. I usually like them with Emily Henry books, and I'm actually really excited for this. I don't know if I talked about it in my other video. The third act in Funny Story, diabolical. Insanity. In fucking sanity. I feel like I have to go read it again to feel that rush. Like it wasn't a fun like haha, it was so like messy. It was, you're sick. You were sick and I hate you for it. I'm waiting for it. With Great Big Beautiful Life, just the third act of it, the actual hurt of it, because Emily Henry, she knows how to write these like jaw-dropping lines that just make you feel so much for the characters. It's really good. I cried, guys. I cried, and it's been a while since I've cried while reading. I don't even remember when was the last time, but I was crying. I was full on sobbing, mostly because it was touching on personal things a little bit too much, and life happens. I am really liking it though. I can definitely tell that like we're like in this bubble, and that bubble is about to pop, and I'm wondering how the world outside of this bubble is gonna play out, because again, this is such a good summer read where you're really in that specific atmosphere of, this is like, we're here to have fun, we're here to do some work and all this stuff. It still feels like it's dreamlike, I'm really wondering how, if the story is even going to delve into the world outside of this bubble. But I'm pretty excited. The slow progression in Hayden and Alice's relationship has been really good. Can't believe L-bombs have been dropped already. Again, I've seen this movie before and I didn't like the ending. Be careful, you guys. Be careful, Hayden and Alice. I know you guys love each other already, but please. I know what happens, okay? I apologize for looking as sickly as I do. I'm not sick. I just had a rough night. But big news, I finished Great Big Beautiful Life. Here's the cover. Since my last update, which was last night basically, I had around like 50 pages left, and I didn't know how the third act was gonna play out. Big plot twist. Wow. I mean, considering the story that Margaret was telling us, there had to have been secret babies elsewhere, It's all these babies, guys. It was like secret after secret that was being revealed, and I was like, okay, like it makes sense. It's not too out of left field. I don't know. I feel like I have to sit on the ending a little bit more to really have concrete opinions about it, because right now it's just like, sure, makes sense, The third act honestly wasn't as dramatic as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a bigger argument than there was, and it's fine that there wasn't. I don't think it was really warranted here, but like, I always love a good argument. I don't know. Considering the fact that like Margaret Ives was this celebrity starlet who like everyone was obsessed with, basically a Kardashian in this time, I would assume a little drama here in the actual story as well, but that's okay. That's fine. I was really liking the buildup of the relationship between Alice and Hayden, but I don't know if at a period of time that like I felt disconnected to it and then I felt invested in it again. Like I don't know, because my mood does often influence how I feel about a book, and that's often why I go back and reread books. But I don't know, I felt like the romance was a little bit rushed. Like I really like the build up, and I like the banter and tension between them. I thought it was really good. I thought they played off each other very well. I don't know, I don't know. There was just something about it that didn't wholly attach me to them as a couple, and it's fine. Again, they were cute. They served their purpose for me. Maybe things are hitting a little too close to home, and I'm just like, what are you guys doing? I don't know. Could be a lot of things influencing my opinions here. But otherwise, I think it was a very good ending for this book. To end on that line, very cute, very cute. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I know I said in the last clip that I wanted Emily Henry to kind of delve into the world outside this bubble. But like when we start the book, like we're already in this bubble, and so I guess it makes sense to keep it within it because everything is just so intertwined and all that stuff. Yeah, secrets among secrets, all of that stuff, super fun. I feel like if I had read this a little bit quicker, it would have had more of an effect on me, but I think because I read it sporadically, it doesn't really have an effect on me. I still loved it nonetheless. It was still very enjoyable. I thought that the characters were very well fleshed. Emily Henry does that very well, where you care about like a lot of these characters and the arcs that they go through and where they end up. So overall, it was a good story. I think I gave it like a 4 stars for now. Again, I have to sit on it. I feel like with how I'm reading nowadays, like I need time to sit on it and then I can fully give it like a concrete rating. Otherwise, I feel like I'm just kind of in this like muddled headspace where I can't really think very clearly. That was Great Big Beautiful Life. I loved it. I think the story as a whole is very good. As for ranking in Emily Henry books, it's higher than a lot of the other ones. So we still have Happy Place on top. Happy Place. Look, if you're gonna give me second chance romance, and if you do it well, I'm gonna eat it up. So it's Happy Place, and then I'm gonna still have to say Beach Read, and then I feel like it has to be, okay, now that I'm thinking about Book Lovers, I feel like Book Lovers has to be high, but it's just not memorable for me, and I feel like I have to go back and read it, because it wasn't bad. I don't remember it being bad. I really love the ending for that one. Honestly, okay, we're gonna say Happy Place, Beach Read, Book Lovers, People We Meet, Great Big Beautiful, and then Funny Story. I think that's all of them. Okay, I feel confident with that. That's my ranking. Emily Henry, give us another book. I know you have one ready. Every year you have one ready. And I'm excited for whatever project that you will be coming out with because I will read it. Can't wait for the movie adaptation. Don't know if I will watch it because I don't know. I feel very iffy about like movie adaptations just because oftentimes adaptations can feel very cringy, especially if they're like romance adjacent. So we'll see. I would like to talk about another book that I finished like 2 days ago because I saw the cover and I was very intrigued by it. A Guest in the House by E.M. Carroll. This is an adult graphic novel, and I'm not too big on graphic novels. I think if the subject matter tends to lean darker, then I'll read it. So this was kind of up my alley. This one is about a woman who gets married to a widow. I think it's a widow, not a widower, and moves in with him and his kid, and she starts to experience these ghostly phenomenons, and she can't really explain it, and I think it's an allegory for something else. I'm not too sure. The ending, okay, if we're gonna talk about this book in full, I really like the beginning. I think stories like these I really gravitate towards. I think it's just the fact that like you have these characters who would be considered like mundane or not anything interesting. Even she explains it herself, and they kind of just go through life cruising, not really having any direction, and then like these weird things start happening. I really like those stories, and I think a lot with these characters, they have a lot of internal battles with themselves, and it gets a little eerie, and that's what I really like about this. I really like the beginning. I think it has very good illustrations, because if you're looking at it, it's a lot of black and white, but then once we get into, I don't know if they're actually dreams, but like the ghostly phenomenons or like her imagination, there gets to be more color, and I really like that. I was pretty confused about the ending. I didn't really know what it all meant. Obviously it's a bit ambiguous, but it was a good plot twist at the end. I don't know. I think I was expecting it to be a little bit more sinister than it was. Obviously, this leans a little bit more into like the fantastical realm of things. I still really liked it. I gave it a 3 stars though. It was a good, strong start, but then I felt like I just didn't really understand the ending of it. But maybe I'll just have to go back and look at it again. But I absolutely love the artwork. I will possibly use this for reference in a future work in progress. That is it for this vlog. It was very short, not a lot of things, but I feel like it was very concise. I had a goal and we finished that goal. And I feel like I kept the updates pretty consistent compared to my last one because it's only been a few weeks, not 2 months. Anyway, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.